all the commercial aspects of Christmas. So he made up his own holiday. Instead of a tree, his father put up an aluminum pole. This is where you go, And aren't there feats of strength that always left you crying, George? George was upset. He gathered his things and left the coffee shop. Oh, you're getting good. Yeah. Later, Kramer heard about Festivus and he was intrigued. After all, he was downright interested in all things zany. Kramer contacted Frank Costanza to inquire about Festivus. Frank was happy to oblige Kramer and gave an explanation of how it was invented. Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there must be another way. Kramer thought that must have been some kind of doll. He was right. Frank continued his story. The doll was destroyed, but out of that a new holiday was born, a Festivus for the rest of us. Now Frank was inspired. Before he left, sorry.
That was my bad hand.
He informed Kramer that he was planning to resurrect Festivus. He scurried off to fetch the Festivus pole from where he had left it. Right in the crawl. In the crawl space.
Oh, okay. Not across.
Frank dragged the pole across town.
I went across.
They don't have anybody to go across from.
I know, down here either. That's the real random.
Oh, that is the problem.
We're
Did you know the
okay. We're kind of faking it.
Yeah, everybody's still employed.
We're good.
Where was I?
We're improvising. That's what we do every day.
That very night, Festivus was held. George brought his boss, Mr. Kruger, along, just to prove to him how unusual his family was. Jerry brought his girlfriend, Gwen, the Two-Face. Why was she called Two-Face? That's a story better left for another time. Elaine, are we where we started?
Yes, I am.
Elaine was also there, and she was surprised to see that Kramer had brought along her two bookie friends from the OTB across town.
Hey, Jim.
Mix it up a little bit more.
Mix it up, yeah.
Here, I'll cross it. There's 17, so there's going to be a problem.
I slung one too many over here.
Here we go.
Oh, Cheryl doesn't have one. Oh, but Cheryl needs Cheryl.
I don't have
We're gonna have one.
I don't have one. You got three?
There we go.
I think Drew already won.
He's got 3 gifts. He started not having any.
Mr. Kruger was interested in learning more about the Festivus pole. Frank explained it's made from aluminum, very high strength to weight ratio, and very low maintenance. Frank added that he finds tinsel distracting. This left Mr. Kruger dumbfounded. Finally, dinner was served and Frank addressed the gathering. Welcome newcomers. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I've got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're going to hear about it. You, Kruger, my son tells me your company stinks. George moaned, oh God. Frank continued, quiet George, you'll get yours in a minute. Then Frank looked confused and said, I lost my train of thought. Everyone looked across the dining room table at each other and wondered where he may have left it. The fact that we aren't good at the most complicated things says a lot.
Is there a feature or a rule that we...
Everybody looked, oh, we already did that. Still, they were left thankful that no additional grievances were aired. Finally, it was time for the feats of strength. Frank indicated it was Kramer's turn to participate, but Kramer had to go, so he left. Everybody wondered who's going to do the feats of strength. Just then, Mr. Kruger recommended, how about George? Good thinking, Kruger. Frank replied, and then he removed his sweater and looked across the table at George.
Going across.
Somebody cross. Here, it doesn't matter.
There we go.
Oh, the big one.
Okay.
Okay.
This is one that I.
Frank yelled out at the challenge, "Let's rumble." "You can take him, Georgie," Estelle Costanza was heard to encourage her son. As we fade away from the Festivus at the Costanza household, we are left with a mystery gift in our hands. Let's open them.